In this video, I'm gonna rework my entire game idea and turn it into a dystopian driving cooking game. If you're new here, I recently started development on a brand new game called Monster Chef. Imagine Cooking Mama mixed with Papers, Please to create a strange cooking drama type game. Essentially, you were in disguise and you had to cook your friends, feed it to your friends, and remain anonymous. I love cannibalism. However, after spending much more time working on the god-awful prototype, I realized that this idea is just it's missing a couple things. You know, a game like this typically has a lot more like complicated systems dealing with all these things, and a lot of these ideas are super up in the air, and I don't really know how to flesh them out, so it just seems like this is not concrete enough for me to make a game about, you know what I mean? Like, it's a cool idea, but I just feel like I don't have the skills to make this an actual not poo-poo pee-pee game. I still want to keep the cooking game style because I feel like cooking games are just all the same and I want to add something new. I want to change it up a bit, you know? I want to make things a little bit more like almost not ragdoll based, but more like physics based, kind of like a game like Surgeon Simulator where it's kind of like goofy and you have to pick up objects with just one hand. So you'd basically have like one hand to juggle everything, your ingredients, everything cooking. So I feel like that would make it more fun, but I still feel like this needs a little bit of something different to spice it up. And that's when in the back annals of my mind, is annal even a word? I discovered a deep, long-lost memory.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and welcome to Let's Play EnviroBear 2000.
Markiplier. So for some reason in my mind it popped up a random Markiplier video that I think literally came out like 11 years ago that kind of sparked in my mind called EnviroBear 2000. In this game you're basically a bear and you're driving around and there's other bears and cars driving as well, and you're all trying to prep yourself for hibernation within a limited time space. And this really appealed to me because it kind of matches with that Surgeon Simulator type gameplay I was talking about. You have to use one hand to drive your car. So like, oh, if you want to go over to that bush there, you'll have to steer with one hand, then push the accelerator and then keep kind of going. And while that's happening, stuff is falling in your car all over the place. Ah, get it off me. So I was thinking maybe I, borrow this idea a bit and kind of mix it with the cooking game style. So I don't know if this idea is going to stick, but I'm going to just make a prototype real quick and show you. Alright, fast forward, we're in the Godot game engine and I've created a green hand in Photoshop. Because I'm still going with the monster theme for now, I made it green instead of a human. So we got our monster hand here, and so I wanted to first go with these driving mechanics right away just to see if this was feasible at all. The way I'm doing this is I'm basically making a 3D world, but I'm using 2D assets and 2D appearances to things. Kind of like the way the first original Doom game did it, where it's kind of like 3D, but not really. So I made a prototype of this car. You can accelerate and brake. I was working on a steering wheel for a very long time and I couldn't really get it to work, so that's a problem for next week, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'll do that later. So like for now, you can do the acceleration and stuff and it actually works really well. Like, I'm actually impressed by what I've done. And of course, now that we have basic driving, I'm adding some object picking up. So I put in like just a default cube and I made it so when you put your mouse or your hand over it, you can grab it and pick it up and move it around. It overall works pretty well. It's kind of finicky right now and like it doesn't have continued physics. What I mean by that is, let's say you're like grabbing an object and you're throwing it around, whatever, and then you let go of it, it'll just like it won't like follow through, which I don't want. But again, that's a problem for next week, guys. Don't worry about it, you know what I mean? So this is essentially just a regular prototype thingy for what the main gameplay loop would be. So you'd probably be there, imagine a steering wheel works, you'd probably be there driving and oh, I'm moving, yeah, okay, now I need to grab something and put it in this machine to cook it, and I'm still driving and oh no, there's a random thing in my car, oh no, and then you just keep going from there. So that's essentially what I'm going for here. I was thinking of doing some kind of pixel art style, but I'm kind of bad at pixel art, so I was thinking maybe doing like a kind of ugly pixel art style, but it kind of looks good even though it's ugly, you know what I mean? I went in, I made some trees, and I want this game to be kind of like not roguelike, but have roguelite elements within. Like, I want levels to be randomized and environments to be randomized, so I made a tree randomization system, so now whenever I place trees all around, it has a random chance of being one of them. So each time you load into a level, it's going to have a different forest for you to explore. It's a small thing, but if it made me feel useful. It made me feel like I was a good programmer. And for now, that's pretty much everything this week because I just started my winter break and I'm lazy. All these other issues are going to be for next week. But let me know if you think this rework is going to be good. I might have to rework it again. I'm just saying, I don't know if this is going to work, but you know, we'll play with it. We'll test it out, see what works. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next devlog.